Well, all righty then. Yeah. Okay, C4 meeting. Get pumped up, people. Get pumped up. Wellington, what are you so happy about? Oh, don't mistake. It's not happiness. It's motivation. It's ambition. It's excitement. Which I guess can be misconstrued as happiness, I guess. Here's what we're going to do. All right, we're going to take 5 seconds here. We're going to take 5 seconds, and I'm going to count to 5. Let some people get on the call here. A little few late stragglers. And we're all going to take a deep breath, and we're going to let it out. Ready? All right. Joseph Vasquez is on the call. A lot of people on the call. All right, ready? And the count of 5. 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to go up. I'm going to go up like this, and then, okay, ready? So we're going to breathe in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right.
Yeah. Om chibom hing hom pong him hang hom boy. Now listen to me. Ready? Here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about this unbelievable silliness that the National Association of Realtors just did. I know that's why you logged on. You're like, Wellington, are you going to provide the solution to this problem? First off, there's no problem. There isn't one. I'm going to prove that to you today. Number 2, you don't have anything to fix, even though I'm still going to fix it for you, for those who are still worried about it. And number 3, ready? If you are on this call, which you are, okay, raise your hand if you're not here, right? If you're on this call, which means you're in C4, here is my absolute solemn promise to you. What just happened on Friday will not only not be a problem for you, not create a situation where you're losing half your income, not be a situation where you can't have buyer's agency, not any of those things, but it's going to be the biggest explosion to your business ever. And the things that you know, the things that we are now going to be teaching you in addition to what you already know, the things that you learned at our seminar, the things you've learned here at C4 are now going to absolutely be 10 times more valuable than they ever have been because of what they did on Friday. How about that one? So ready for this? I know that you're worried. Don't be. I know that you're scared. Do not be. Because what just happened is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you, specifically you, C4 members. And I'm going to show that to you and prove it to you today. So we're going to start with worry and anxiety and concern. And we're going to finish absolutely so ambitiously energetic about the future. It's going to blow your mind. All right. With that being said, here's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about what happened on Friday. We're going to be talking about what it means to you, specifically you, not the industry, but you in particular. I am going to show you exactly how what happened on Friday is going to be a huge explosion to your business and be one of the best things that ever happened. Now, could it be a bad thing for other people? Your competition? Yes, it can be. But that's in their mind. Your mind is going to be focused on what a huge opportunity this is. And that's not happy fluff talk. You know, it's always, when things change, it's always an opportunity. When one door closes, another one opens. Screw all that happy horse shit. Sorry, all that happy horse, you know what it is, okay? None of that. That is not happy talk. I'm going to prove to you numerically that what just happened is going to put hundreds of thousands of dollars of commission in your pocket because of what happened. All right, let's get into it. Now we're allowed a few minutes to have everybody take their breath and get on the call here. All right, now, first off, do I want your comments? Yes. Do I want your questions? Yes. Do I want you to unmute yourself at the end and talk? Yes. But I want you to do it all in the chat box so we can all get to everybody, and we're going to take as long as we need to, and we're going to answer everybody's questions. You are C4. We're going to do another talk tomorrow for the general population. It's not going to have anywhere near as much good stuff as you're getting. No way. You're going to get the good stuff. Every single C4 member deserves to have their questions answered, and we're going to. If you still have questions, you can call me personally. You can call me at home. You want to call me at home? Okay, call me at home. All right, here we go. All right, now, what is this building? We already talked about this. We already know what the hell this is. This is the NAR building, National Association of Ridiculousness. NAR, okay? What's this down here? This is, of course, the Department of Injustice. There they are. So what are we talking about? I know you've already seen this graphic, but what are we talking about today? The settlement. Dun, 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 the settlement. Now, when I say the settlement, I don't really mean that. I mean a settlement, not the, a. That shouldn't say the. It should say a settlement. And I'm going to show you it to you because all these pundits out there, I can't believe how wrong people get it in the news media. I mean, how can you suck at your job that bad? If I was a reporter, I swear to God, I would go and apologize to my parents for being such a complete failure in my life. I swear to God. How do these people get it so unbelievably wrong every single time they do something? It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, let's get into this dog. Let's get into this bad boy here. Now, what we're going to do, first off, what the hell happened? Let me just put that right up front. First, the first thing that happened is this. National Association of Realtors spent $418 million of your dollars, not theirs, yours, okay? Your money to be paid over 4 years. Now, let me ask you a quick question there, guys. Let me ask you a quick question. Why would you write a check for $400 million? Would you do it for the reasons that they say? Well, we want to protect our agents and no, they don't. No, they don't. That's not why they wrote the check, okay? That's not why they wrote the check. They wrote the check to protect their own pocketbook, and we all know it, and I'm going to prove it to you today. Now, the next thing they did is in some kind of ridiculous sacrificial lamb move on your part, and by the way, you're paying for this, NAR made a sweeping ruling that no commissions can be displayed on any MLS, which, by the way, they don't have the authority to say because they can only say this on realtor-owned MLSs. There's lots of MLSs out there that aren't owned by the National Association of Realtors or realtors themselves. They can't say this for them. Are those MLSs going to go along with their plan? Maybe. Who knows? You know, don't rock the boat type of thing. But this only covers MLS systems owned by realtors, realtor-owned MLSs. That's it. Now, I spoke to a gentleman recently that said, oh, NAR had to do this. They had no choice. That is the biggest bunch of crap I've ever heard in my life. So these are the two things that happened on Friday, amongst some other things that we don't even know about because this whole settlement offer, by the way, this hasn't gone through yet. The judge has not ruled on this. This is NAR's offer to the Sitzer-Burnett case. And for those of you who think that this is a blanket settlement and it's going to solve all of our problems, you are a fool. And I know there's nobody on C4 that is that foolish. Mama Pendel, aka Mama Wellington, never raised such a foolish child, ever. All right. There's what's happened in a nutshell, basically. They're making that offer. All right. What else? Here's a summary of what we're going to be talking about today. NAR settles. Who won, who lost. We'll talk about that. Lots of lawsuits, but Wellington, they're all solved. No, they're not. No quick fix to this, even though I'm going to give you one today. And it's a huge opportunity for who? C4 in the biggest way I've ever seen. Today, we're going to be talking about the following things. No complaining. I'm not going to be wah complaining. It's going to be a bitch session about what's going on and how unfair the world is to us realtors. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened and how to make money from it. Okay? How to fix this in your business, not the industry's business and not every realtor's business, yours and yours only. I'm also going to talk about how to explode your business because of this, not only survive, but succeed if you do the following things. And by the way, this is like a partial list. For the agents that actually do the following things, you will survive. Number one, understand this did not change anything. Wellington, now I know you're insane. This is a huge change to the way we do business. No, it isn't. And I will explain how that is the case in about 10 minutes. So hold on. This is not a huge change. Number two, Show their sellers, your clients, you're going to have a heck of a lot more of them in the future. That I promise you. Okay. The value of your service, not realtor service, yours personally. We're also going to talk about replace any lost buyer agencies you get with listings. Now, are you going to lose some buyer agencies? Maybe. But you want to know why you're going to lose them? It's not going to be because you're not doing the right thing. It's going to be because foolish listing agents who get a listing, even though they shouldn't get a listing because they have no idea what they're doing, cost you a buyer's agency, not because of what you're doing. And the last thing, learn new techniques to get additional listings. So we're going to talk about that real quick. Now, before you assume what I'm going to be saying, let me go and kind of get into this. Okay, let me just go over this. People say, well, Wellington, this is about every class action lawsuit in the world. No, it isn't. You don't write a check for $418 million for cases that haven't even been tried yet. Why would you do that? You don't. This is all about this case right here. The $1.8 billion sitting out there that NAR and Berkshire Hathaway have to pay. That's what this is about. Why would you pay $400 million for somebody's word that they won't sue you in the future? Why would you do that? You'd never do that. That's like me saying, hey, take my house in Temecula, take my car, take my savings, just don't sue me in the future. And someone going, yeah, you have my word. Yeah, why in the hell would you do that? You wouldn't. This settlement is about this case right here, the Citra Burnett case. I'm going to prove it to you. Now, we all know this is the Missouri case on behalf of 500,000 consumers, blah, 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 against the big four, okay, Keller Williams, Anywhere, which is Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Sotheby's, Better Homes, Guns. All right, we all know that. Plus Remax, plus who else? Berkshire Hathaway and NAR. That's who it's against. So what happened here? Well, what happened was we lost, and they got a $1.8 billion verdict. That's what this is about. So all of this talk about how the New York case and the Texas case and the Arizona case is all going to be settled, no, it isn't. Now, is that my prediction? It is. So $1.8 billion has to be paid by the following people. Okay, NAR, Keller Williams, Remax, Berkshire Hathaway, and of course, Anywhere, which encompasses Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Sotheby's. So there's your big four plus NAR. I'm going to show you why I put it in this case. Now, what happened long before this, we had several settlements to this case. Number one, the first company to bail out was Remax for $55 million. The second company was Anywhere for $83 million. Then Keller Williams came to the table with their checkbook for $77 million. Then last Friday, okay, $418 million on behalf of NAR. Berkshire Hathaway is still outstanding. They still don't know what the hell they're going to do. Now think about this. Why would you pay all these? You're going to pay them because you've got a verdict against you for $1.8 billion. Now, here's what this does. This is why this is bad for the industry, but good for you. Okay, this means no appeals. For those of you like, oh, we're going to appeal this. No, you're not. After you've settled it, there's no appeal. The appellate process is over. You've settled. The only company that can appeal this is Berkshire. That's the only ones. Okay? Now, permanent case precedent. As soon as Berkshire settles, and they're going to, this is permanent case precedent, which means what? Which means we settled. We admitted we were wrong. We wrote a big check because we're crooks and terrible people, which means that any lawyer in the world can sue any brokerage for any amount of money on behalf of any client they've had over the last 5 years. And Wellington, the Department of Justice says that it's all over now. Yeah, it's all over in Missouri with this case. Do you really think that some private lawyer suing ABC Real Estate in Florida, in Tallahassee, Florida, for $100,000 on behalf of some buyer is going to go, oh, the Department of Justice in Washington said that the Missouri case is settled. I'll just go home and not take anything. Do you really think that's going to happen? That's insanity. This is permanent case precedent, and this opens the door for lawsuits, big and small, all over the country. So here are the big three, and I know you already know this, but I'm going to add what just happened to this. Okay, the big three. Number one, we can no longer do the following things. We can no longer say buyer's agent's commission is free. Okay, and we all know that that's going to be not the case anyway, because for years we've been saying that, and it's not the case. We can also have no MLS, and this is kind of an after the fact, no MLS that can have a search by commission, which is kind of after the fact because we're not going to have any commissions in the MLS, are we? But this is what happened prior to the verdict. And the last thing that this said before the verdict that happened on Friday was this. no brokerage can mandate membership in the National Association of Realtors. Okay, so we know this. Then what happened on Friday? The real estate earthquake, which I'm not sure if you've been watching YouTube or watching the news or watching all this other stuff. Okay, it's all the biggest thing in real estate ever happened. Oh my God, NAR did what? No commissions in the MLS, which your 3% no longer can be displayed in any multiple listing service that participates with the National Association of Realtors. No more of this. Okay, so there's your earthquake. There's your earthquake. All right, let's talk about this for a second, shall we? Let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, Sitzer Burnett case. This is one that's in Missouri. Okay, so it's a class action. Now think about this from a legal standpoint. It's a class action lawsuit in Missouri, the state of Missouri. So what you're saying and what they're saying and what the pundits are saying, what the media is saying, is now that a case in Missouri is over, we're out of the woods. Everything's going to be fine now. Oh, no one can sue us anymore. Nobody can sue the National Association of Realtors. Nobody can sue an MLS system. Nobody can sue any brokerages because some case in Missouri got settled. No. Ready for this? Here's Baton 1. That got filed a day after this one settled, or I should say verdict. Okay, October 31st, remember Halloween, where the Sitzer Burnett case got its verdict, the $1.8 billion? One day later, the Baton 1 in Illinois gets filed. And they also have Baton 2. Now, but Wellington, those are all going to go away. Yeah. Guess what? Not so much. This right here, NAR Settlements Commission lawsuit for $480 million. This is March 15th, 3 days ago. Okay? Yahoo Finance. Ready? Check this out. According to NAR, this settlement brings an end to all of the litigation claims brought by home sellers in Missouri. In all the home sellers in Missouri for the Sitzer Burnett case. That's what they're not telling you. Ready? However, the lawsuits filed by home buyers, known as Baton 1 and Baton 2, will continue. So Baton 1 and Baton 2 get to continue. The Sitzer Burnett case is over, and you think that they're going to go ahead and let these two continue, and all the other 24 class action lawsuits all over the country are just going to go away. Those plaintiff lawyers are just going to go, oh, well, I guess they settled it in Missouri, so I guess I'll go home and take nothing. I don't think so, folks. Watch this. So we got rid of the Sitzer Burnett case with $418 million of your money and cutting off commissions being displayed in the MLS. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, but Baton about 2, they're going to continue. Seems really strange to me. Well, what else? How about this? How about the Gibson, also in Missouri? How about the Moeller case in Missouri? How about the Nosalic case in Massachusetts? Are you telling me that these plaintiff attorneys in Massachusetts are going to go, oh, Sitzer Burnett has been settled. We'll go home now. And by the way, you wonder why it's in yellow? Here's why. This case right here, the Nosalic in Massachusetts, isn't even against the National Association of Realtors. It's against the MLS system in Massachusetts. So what you're telling me, people out there that think this is all settled and done and we're just going to go on our happy way, is that this case that's against the MLS, they're going to go, oh, well, NAR said that everything's okay now. We'll go home. Not a chance. That's going to continue as well. How about the Burton in South Carolina? How about the March case in New York? How about the QJ team in Texas? Okay. How about the Phillips in Georgia? How about, I don't know, the Springway case in Pennsylvania? How about the Parker case in Florida? And how about the Grace case in Northern California? Whew, that's a long list. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's only half of them. Let's keep going. Ready? How about the Martin case in Texas, the Umpka case in Missouri, okay, the Friedman case in New York, the Tachori case in Illinois, the Macello case in Arizona, the Whaley case in Nevada, the Latham case in Northern California, that's 2 in Northern California so far, okay, the Fierro case in Southern California, that's 3 in California so far, the Jensen case in Utah, the Boykin case in Nevada, Boykin, okay, I'm such a child, okay, Freeland case in California, that's 4 in California, the Maslanka case in Illinois, and again, the consolidated case in Washington, D.C. That is 24 different class action lawsuits. Do you really think all of those people and all those cases are just going to go, well, they settled with Illinois, we're going to get out of here, or sorry, they settled with Missouri, let's just all go home and just not get any money? I don't think so. So much for that, right? So much for that. So what does this mean? All right, let's get into this, right? Let's get into what this means to you. Come on, get in there. Ready? Here we go. Now, ready? Here's what you're hearing in the mainstream media. I don't understand it. Anybody that listens to these people, anything that you see coming out of the mainstream media is a lie. Period. End of story. Okay, ready? Here's what you're hearing. The old system of 6% commission is no longer. Is that true? Because that's on everybody's lips. That's what every single news reporter, okay, is saying. Is that true? Well, does it force buyers to pay their side of the commission? Does it destroy a large percentage of buyers' agents' business? Does it potentially take half the revenue out of the real estate industry? I don't know. That's a good question. Here's all the questions you're getting, right? Do buyers have to now sign an exclusive buyer's agency agreement because NAR wants them to? And NAR's God, right? Sure. Yeah, okay. And does this outlaw sellers paying for buyers' agents' commission? There is the 6 main questions. Let's answer every single one of them. Ready? Here we go. The old system of 6% commission is no longer. Is that true? No, it is not true. It is not true. Okay. First off, 6% commission was never really the case in California. It is another case in other states. But here's the thing: that's not the old system. That is the system that represents commission on the listing side and on the buy side. Are you telling me that commissions cannot be paid to buyers agents? Or is that what you're telling me? Because if you're telling me that, you're listening to the media and they're lying to you. That's not the case at all. You can't outlaw commissions being paid to the buyer's agent. You can't outlaw that being paid by anybody. Okay. Number 2, does it force buyers to pay their side of the commission? No, it doesn't. Oh, Wellington, that's exactly what NAR said. No, that's not what NAR said. That is not what NAR said. NAR said this, quote unquote, no commission will be displayed on the MLS systems. That's what NAR said. They never said anything about buyers having it force buyers to pay their side of the commission. Doesn't say that. We all extrapolated that. Next, does it destroy a large percentage of the buyer's agent business? Well, for some buyer's agents who don't know what they're doing, it is. But for all of you, no, it does not. Does it potentially take half the revenue out of the real estate industry? No, it does not. It doesn't have to, unless you let that be the case. Do buyers have to now sign an exclusive buyer's agency agreement? No. I'm going to let that sink in. Okay. The National Association of Realtors, which has no regulatory authority of any kind, they don't make laws. Okay. They don't have authority. They cannot tell every person who's ever going to buy a house that they have to enter into a contract with a certain person. They have no power and no authority to say that. They can't do that. That's like the biggest truck driving down the freeway saying, okay, everybody has to go 55 miles an hour because that's all I can go. Wrong. The National Association cannot mandate this. If I'm a buyer and you say you got to sign an exclusive with me, I'm going to look at you and say, you know what? Take that exclusive and shove it. What are you going to do? Well, I guess I'm not going to work with you then. Really? You're going to forego a commission of $20,000 on average in the state of California because I won't sign your little piece of paper? I wonder how many mortgage payments you're going to miss before you question that decision. We'll get to that in a second, a little bit more, because that's a big one. Does this outlaw sellers paying buyer's agent commission? Every single person out there is saying yes, and the answer to that is no. It doesn't. It only eliminates the displaying of the commission you're going to continue to put on the buy side from being displayed in the MLS. That's it. That's it, everybody. All right, let's get into some of these. Now, Quellington, what should we do? Oh my gosh, the National Association of Realtors, aka God, okay, that's your biggest problem right there. Okay, many realtors, but not C4 so much, but many realtors out there, well, we have to do anything that NAR says because they run the world. No, they don't. It's a club that you've given power to, that you shouldn't be giving power to because they just sold you down the river. Okay, so what should we do, Wellington? they won't let us display commissions in the MLS. Well, first off, they won't let you display commissions in realtor-owned MLSs. That's all. Here's what you should do. Ready? I'm going to show you. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Here's what everybody should do. The same exact thing that you have been doing for 30 years. All right, I'm going to let that sink in. What do you mean, Wellington? We can't. Yes, you can. What do you do as a realtor? You take listings, okay, or you represent buyers. Let's go to the listing side first. You take listings and you say to the seller, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, how much commission would you like to pay me? Would you like to pay me 3%? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. How much commission would you like to pay the buyer's agent? Well, prior to all of this, they had to put at least $1 in the MLS. How many listings were $1, even when they could do that? Not very many. So in other words, all of the other listings out there that have ever existed in the entire world were at the seller's behest. When I put 2.5%, if I'm the seller and you're my agent, when I put 2.5% through you on the MLS prior to Friday, on the MLS to attract a buyer's agent and their buyers to my house, that is something that I desire to do. I never had to do that. All I had to do was put $1 on there. And that's what caused the problem, by the way, is they were mandated to put at least something. If that little box in the MLS had been optional completely, we wouldn't be having these problems. This would never come up. That started the entire thing. That was the match that started the forest fire. So when I put a 2.5% commission on the buy side, which by the way should be 4%, I'll get to that in a minute, okay, and a 2.5% commission on the listing side, I am the seller deciding to do that. The federal government, the Department of Justice, and National Association of Realtors cannot outlaw my God-given constitutional right to put a commission on the buy side. All NAR can do is say, I'm taking my ball and going home, which is in essence is saying, I'm not going to let you put it on my MLS. Fine, NAR, don't let us. You're just shooting yourself in your foot. In my opinion, this has made NAR and the MLS system even less relevant and less important than it was already. That's all it's ever done. So you can still, here's what you should do. Continue to take listings and put commissions on both sides. Now, just because it's not being reflected in the MLS doesn't mean a commission doesn't exist, does it? Exactly. Let's go over this a little bit. Ready? The only thing that has changed is you can no longer rely on the MLS to inform buyer's agents of the buy side commission. That's all that's happened. It's a big nothing burger, okay? It's nothing. That's all, okay? In other words, you don't get to rely on the MLS to do your work for you now. Now, as a listing agent, you've got to go out and advertise and market the property just like you should be doing anyway. Let's talk about that for a second. Now, here's some questions. Ready? Is the MLS, here's a question for you. Is the MLS in NAR, okay? Multiple listing services and NAR. Okay, is the MLS in NAR, who decides if the property has the seller paid buyer's agent? Is that who decides? Yeah. Question for everybody. I want everybody to put in the chat box, yes or no. Does the MLS and NAR, are they the ones who decide if a property has a seller paid buyer's agent commission? Yes or no? Go ahead, put it in there, okay? Go ahead. I was waiting for my first yes, which I haven't gotten. Hell no, they don't. It's just a reporting system. You decide whether there's a seller paid commission on the buy side. They cannot take that away from you. And that's what every single YouTube pundit moron is out there saying. God, I can't stand these people. I'm telling you, most reporters are just dumb enough to be dangerous. That's what they are. Okay. Here's what's going on. No is that answer. And thank you for 100% no's. At least you're C4. You get this. It has been and always will be the listing agent who decides if there is a buyer's agent commission. The MLS is simply a communication device. Okay? Stop worrying. Continue doing your business exactly like you have. With a few changes, they're going to make you a millionaire. Let's get to some of those. Now, as stated before, just like we always had, okay, our business can continue exactly like it has in the past, meaning prior to Friday, with buyer's agent's commission being paid by the seller. Yes, that is legal. It will never be not illegal until they get rid of the Constitution. It is entirely up to the listing agent, thus the seller, to ensure buyer's agent's commissions are part of the listing. even if it's not shown or mandated in the MLS. I want everybody to read that again. You are the listing agent. You are the agents who will either doom or save buyer's agency. That's why. I want everybody to see that. So let me give you an example. Here's 6 houses, okay? Here's 6 houses on the MLS, all right? Let's go over these 6 houses. This one has 2.5, 2.5, very common, good. This one has a 3-4, 7% technique, get to that in a minute, okay? This house right here, the blue one, has a 2.5, 2.5, again, very common. This one has a 3-3, not quite as common as 2.5, 2.5, but there you go. This one has a 3, 2.5 greedy listing agent, and this one has a 2.5, 2.5. So here's a sampling of the MLS. Now, question for you. Is it the MLS that decides, okay, why those commissions? And because, is it the MLS and NAR that decides these commissions? Is it? Or is it you and your seller? What action puts the commission on the house? What action? Is it listing in the MLS? So in other words, there's no commission on a house until you put it in the MLS system? No, there's a commission on the house, okay? Residential listing agreement. In other words, your contract. This is what puts the commission on the house, not the MLS and not NAR. Okay. Now, here's one for you. Tony Veruvidis. I think he's on the call. Tony, if you're on the call, please unmute and say hello real quick.
Hi, everybody.
Good. All right. Tony, question for you, Tony.
Yes,
Have
sir.
you ever sold a house not using the MLS?
I would say 60% of our listings are not in the MLS.
Oh my God. They're going to come and put Tony in jail because that's not legal according to NAR. Bull. Okay. Tony Veruvidis, one of the greatest real estate agents, and his wife Tasha Wonderful, okay, some of the greatest real estate agents that ever lived in this state, proved that 60% of their houses, so these 4, okay, took a contract, never put it on the MLS. So it's not the MLS that establishes it, it's this. So let me try to go over this. Ready, guys? This is why you do not need to worry. Watch. Can you email all of your database, and can you email all the buyer's agents and all the brokers in town, letting them know about your 4% buy side? Well, Tony does it all the time. Can you, 2.5 to 4, whatever it is, can you text all of the brokers agents that you know on your cell phone? You can't get off your cell phone for 10 seconds anyway. You might as well use it to help your business. Okay? Can you text all the agents that you know that you have a 4% buy side and tell them to send that text to other people? Yeah, you can. Okay. Can you text the brokers? Can you text everybody you know? Yes, you could. Can you do, zip my flyer? Yes, you can. Can you go, I don't know, to your caravans? Oh my God, can we get off our butts, get out of bed before noon, okay, get to our caravans and advertise our listing that we have 4% on? Yeah, I think we can. In fact, you're supposed to anyway. Could you go to your office meeting once in your lifetime and let all the agents know in your office that you have a 4%, 2%, 3%, whatever buy side on your listing? Don't you think your brokerage manager would like that? Don't you think your broker would like that? Because then you have a chance of double ending it because there's another agent that has a buyer. Yes, you can. And you also used to have the MLS. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things just off the top of my head that you can do to market the property to let everybody know that you have a buy side commission on your listing, right? The only one that you just lost is that one. You have all the rest of them. So to say that, oh my God, NAR just got rid of buyer's agency is the dumbest thing I've heard any fool say ever. This is how we used to market properties, guys. This is how we used to do it.
Beef, can I
There's
just say
nothing wrong with
something?
us doing it again.
Beef, can I just say something here?
Go, Tony.
We haven't really lost MLS because we are still in the MLS with part of our listings. Like I said, 40% of our listings are in the MLS. And let's face it, we put our listing in the MLS. What's going to happen? Somebody's going to call us to show the listing. Guess what we're going to tell them? The commission you're getting is 4%, buddy.
Okay. Did everybody just hear that? So the only thing that has changed since Friday is the fact that now you can text, call, send up smoke signals, whatever damn thing you want to let the buyer agent know what the commission is. That's it. All they did is make your life a little harder. They didn't take anything away from you. You can still put a commission on the buy side paid by the seller. Paid by the seller. And you know how to do that because you know how the 7% works. All they did is make your life a little bit more difficult in terms of now you have to send a text. If somebody wants to show your house because it fits the criteria of their buyer, what are they going to do? They're going to call or text you and go, hey, I'd like to show your house. Is there a commission on the buy side? Yes, there is. And let me ask you a quick question. Since you're C4 and you know how to do this, and you're going to continue to put commissions on the buy side, do you think buyer's agents are going to want to show your house more, or some jackass who thinks you can't put a commission on the buy side? Think about that for a second. That's a key point. You have just become way more valuable to your market because you're the agent that puts commissions on the buy side every single time. All the buyers now work for you. Whew. Let's keep going here. Ready? Now, continue to always encourage sellers to put buyer's agent commissions in the contract. Not in the MLS, because you can't do it there, in the contract. And you know how to do that because you know the 7% technique like the back of your hand. Yes, you do, because you're C4. Next, do not tell customers, clients, database that buyer's agency is no longer. Don't do that. That's a lie. And the media is lying. And some of you agents out there, not C4, but some of these other agents out there are out there doing that. That is the stupidest thing I could ever see an agent doing. In fact, if you do that, you should lose your license. Yep, I said it. Okay, here, I am calling, okay, as one of the career compass trainers, I am calling for any agent in the state of California who says that buyer's agency is no longer to lose their license. I'm calling for that right now. There you go. Use the 7% technique as much as possible. Somebody called the other day and goes, does this mean that the 7% technique is dead? What? Have you lost your mind in real life? This makes the 7% technique 10 times stronger than it was. I'll show you in a minute. Saying okay. Here's the example I used when I was here in the office with Donna. I'm like, somebody said, does this make the 7% technique dead? I said, that is the equivalent of Jesus Christ coming back down to earth and somebody going, well, he's standing there, so I guess Catholicism and Christianity was all fake. He's standing right there. Okay, this makes the 7% technique so much more valuable, and you know how to do it. Let's keep going. We must now market our properties without the benefit of the MLS doing the work for us, and you know how to do it. I just showed you. Okay, you know how to do that. Very simply, do what you should be doing. Market the property via every avenue you have, not just putting it in the MLS, putting the commission on it, and hoping somebody notices it and the interest rates save you. Those agents are dead. Yours is going to explode, and you're going to pick up every single business, every single listing, every single buyer's agency of all those agents that don't understand what this means and don't have the skills and techniques you have. Now, I want to lighten the mood a little bit here. I saw some things on Facebook. You guys are going to love this. You guys are going to love this, okay? Here's one of them that I saw, and I'm not going to show you why. Right? This is post-July 2024 MLS listing descriptions. Ready? This is classic. Now, this is funny, but there's a thread of truth to every joke, isn't there? Yes, there is. So, ready? Here's a description after July. This 3 in capitals bedroom house is with PER capitalized, perfect for your buyer, as it has been recently, and the cent capitalized, updated. Everybody getting it? If you don't get it, if you look at all the capitals, it says 3%. Now that's funny. I like that. So I went ahead and did one of my own. Ready? Here's another one for you. Bring your buyer to this magenta colored home near a community park. There are no omissions to this description. Call me after 3 p.m. Now, let's take all the capitalized letters once again. Buyer, agent, commission, 3P. Now, let me ask you a question. This is funny, but is it viable? We're going to find out. I'm telling you, if people start doing this, I am going to have a heyday with this. I am going to be laughing all the way up and down the block. This is hilarious. because you could do something like this. This is funny stuff. I mean, this is funny. Now, look at Keith. He thinks this is funny. Okay. If you're not laughing at this, then you're not paying attention. But let me ask you a question. We don't know this yet. And I'll admit, I don't know it either. Wellington, you don't know something? It's true. Could you just simply do this? Call me for buyer agent commission on this home. Jim Johnson, listing agent 310-555-1212. Are you going to be able to put that in the description? Because what would that do? That would prove that there is a commission on the buy side. So is NAR so stupid? Is NAR so ignorant? Does NAR hate you so much? Yep, I said it. Does NAR hate you so much that they're going to keep you from doing that? Let me tell you something right now. If they restrict you from doing this, then this settlement is about protecting their pocketbook and not protecting you. Yep, I said it. Because if the DOJ, the only thing the DOJ wanted was us to get rid of that little box where you put the commission because it's going to steer people, idiots, then NAR should be like, sure, put this in there at your benefit, because this is going to show who put a commission on the buy side and who didn't. If they restrict you from putting this line in your listings, this was not about the benefit of realtors. It was about the benefit of the NAR bank account. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Now, what must you do? Well, here's a few things. Learn new listing techniques. We're going to get to that in a second. Okay. You will need to replace your buyer agency with new listing deeds. Now, this is assuming that you do lose some of your buyer agencies because of what's going on with ignorant agents that don't put a commission on the buy side. Is that possible? It is possible. It is possible. So let's just go over this. If you did 10 deals last year, to make the numbers easy, 5 of them were buyer's agency and 5 of them were listings. Is it possible that because of the media, because of the miscommunication, because of NAR, and because of agents out there thinking that buyer's agency is dead, will you lose some of your buyer's agency? It's possible, because here's why. Let's say you go to sell a house that has a 0 commission on it. And so thus you go to your buyer and say, hey, you're gonna have to sign an exclusive with me and pay me. And they're gonna like, forget it. I'm gonna barely get to closing with the money I have. I don't have another 25 grand to pay you on $1 million house. So is it possible that you could lose some buyer's agency? It is. So what do? We're gonna replace those with listing deals. And they're gonna come right from the business of these dumb agents. There's not and never has been enough listings for every agent to have what they need. We all know this. There are no commissions for second place. It is now time to either beat other agents or be beaten, and you're C4. You are the greatest agents in the state, okay? For the next 2 to 5 years, focus 2/3 of your energy on listings, not half and half. Or if you're already doing that, focus even more on listings. And what company is the greatest company on the history of the planet teaching you how to get listings? The Career Compass, C4. Heck yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, let's go back to this real quick, because people are like, well, Wellington, NAR says there's no commission on the buy side anymore and it has to be paid by the buyer. Wrong. Let's go over this slide one more time. Here's the listing side. I know it's usually 2.5, but we have people outside the state of California. We're just going to say it's 3 and 3. Okay. Here's the listing side, and here's the buy side. All right. Now, many experts in the media, and I know you've seen this slide before, but let me put some new additional things in. Media on YouTube say this case was about doing away with the sellers being able to pay the commission of the buyer's agent. That is absolutely, completely, and totally not true whatsoever. What is this case about? And what are all the cases about? Money. First off, the entire thing is an absolute shakedown of the real estate industry, because we're so flush with cash, because we get 6% commissions. Canada gets 1, okay, Australia gets 0, and in Russia, everything's owned by Putin. Anyway, so the real goal of this suit is beyond the obvious huge money grabs, which that's exactly what it is. Guys, add it up, okay? 55 million, 83 million, 77 million, and 418 million. What does that add up to? About $600 million. So what just got grabbed? 0.6 of $1 billion just got sucked out of real estate. Okay, is the rule that you must put a commission on the buy side. That's what this case was about. That was the crux of the case. So let's look at this. Ready? This is called a contract. And this is a contract between two sovereign individuals in the United States that have no, should we say, do not have to do what the National Association of Realtors says they have to do. There can be no law that infringes on the rights of free contract among sovereign citizens. Look it up in the Constitution. So in other words, the NAR, the DOJ, even the government, NAR, let alone, but the DOJ cannot restrict people from putting a buyer's agent commission on the buy side. It's not constitutional. Okay, it's not constitutional. Now, many experts in the media, as you just say, what we should do is just increase our skill as buyer's agents. Wrong. Here's what's wrong with this whole thing when it comes to, well, we're all going to have to sign a buyer's exclusive to be represented by a buyer. Okay. Think about this for a second. Okay. Think about this for a second. I know you've seen this one before, but I want to show you this again. Here's a buyer's agent. Okay. Here is finding a house, viewing the house, contingencies, inspections, and close. Okay. We all know how this works. Here's a buyer's agent. 20 years ago, they did all of this, but they don't do that anymore. Okay. What they do now is they come in at the end of the transaction, maybe, or they're not part of the transaction at all because we have this. So think about that for a second. Now, for 30 years, because I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but prior to 1994, there was no buyer's agency in the state of California. 1994 was the first time we had buyer's agency. It's true. You can look it up. So for exactly 30 years, we have been telling all the clients that are buyers out there that the commission on the buy side is paid by the seller. It's free to you, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. Both the buyer's agent, okay, and the listing agent get paid by the seller. Okay, so that's been the message for 30 years, right? So now, what we're going to do now, because the National Association of Realtors wants it, is we're now going to go back to our buyers and say, not only is my commission not free, but you have to pay it sometimes outside of escrow, out of your pocket, in addition to your down payment, your closing costs, the delta, if there is one. Now you also have to go into your pocket for my commission. How many buyers are going to go, oh, that sounds good because I just got done watching the news and the news just said that all you realtors wrote a big bunch of checks because you're crooks and you've been cheating us for 30 years. How many buyers are going to go, oh, yeah, that sounds fine. I'll go ahead and pay you. Not a chance. It's never going to happen. And I just watched a Zoom call just 2 days ago. I won't mention the brokerage, but a big brokerage. And they're like, well, your relationships with your buyers are going to be paramount. I got news for you. I don't care if it's your spouse. If they have to pay the buyer's agent commission, they're going to tell you to go jump in a lake. Unbelievable. Okay. I got news for you. My best friend, okay, that I've known for 53 years. If he told me I had to pay him a buyer's agent commission because he's a buyer's agent, I would tell him, thanks, I'm going to go ahead and go direct to the listing agent. Have a nice day. Okay, I'm telling you, that is not the case. You listing agents must continue to put commissions paid for by the seller on the listing because it benefits the seller, and you're the only agents that know how to show that because you know the 7% technique. Again, improving our skills as a way to fix this is like pissing on a forest fire. Theoretically, it works now. But Wellington, if there's no buyer's agent commission in the MLS, then the 7% technique no longer works. Ready? That is the biggest lie from the pit of Hades ever said by any foolish person on this planet, coming and going, right, sound, left. And by the way, the guy who called and asked that, he goes, you know what? Because he talked to Donna. Donna said, no, it makes the 7% technique even stronger. And he goes, you know what? I thought it would. Good for you, sir. This is, okay, this right here, the 7% technique, is your saving grace in this industry. Let me show it to you. Here's the listing side, and here's the buy side, right? This is you. You are the listing agent. So here's you, and you went and got the listing, all right? Right? Now, what is over here? Over here, oh, and by the way, you all know 7% technique, you're always going to get what? You're always going to get 3%. So you've got 3% on your side, right? You're the listing agent. Over here, we've got buyer's agents. And boy, they look a little worried, don't they? Because buyer's agents are very worried right now. Whether they're in C4 or not, buyer's agents are worried right now. So here's a bunch of very worried buyer's agents. Why are they worried? Because they're thinking that they're going to get what? They're going to get 0%. We're already seeing some of it by moron listing agents. They think they're going to get maybe 0.5%. They think they might get 1% or 1.5%, maybe 2%. Because think about the new world. Think about the new world of buyers agents. 0 is going to be what they expect. 0.5, hey, I'm getting something, and I'll get the rest from my buyer after I make them sign the exclusive that they're never going to sign. Maybe I'll get a 1%. Maybe we'll have a smart seller who thinks that, you know, adding 1%, a few $1,000s will get people to show the house. I don't know, 1.5%. This used to be the suck. It's going to be good now, and 2% is going to be like Christmas. So this is what's kind of basically happening right now, and this is what's going to continue to happen. All the buyer teams are going to be worried whether they're going to be going out of business. Who's going to save them? You are. Because what do you have on your listing? You're going to put 4% because you know how to do the 7% technique, and you're going to be able to show the seller numerically how it's going to put more money in his pocket, and now even more money. Because why? Here's why. Ready? You're going to do this. And what are all of these agents going to do? They're not going to be worried anymore as soon as they know, not when they see it in the MLS, because they're not going to see it in the MLS. When they get informed by you because of your marketing, they're going to be like, are you kidding? Here's my offer. Hooray. Look at that. Are you kidding me? 4%. What do you think the reaction? It's already a feeding frenzy. It's already a feeding frenzy. What do you think the reaction of buyer's agents are going to be now? Buyer's agents think they're going to be put out of business and they're going to lose their house, lose their business, lose their college fund, lose their cars. When they hear from you, that you've got a 4% buy side, what do you think is going to happen to your listing? Do you think it's going to get negotiation-based offers? Oh, I don't think so. You think you're going to get maybe, 10 grand off, 20 grand off? No. The worst offer on the planet is going to be full price. And you already know how to address that because you add 1% to the comp value and you drive it up. So this guy's going to come in at comp value. Listing value, okay, whatever you listed the house for in the MLS, he's going to come in, hell yeah, I'm good. He's going to come in 10 grand over, 20 grand over, 30 grand over, 40, 50, 60, 70. Oh, and here's another one for you. This makes the 7% extreme technique literally magic. Magic. It does, doesn't it? Because I can't wait for CRMLS to call me and say, you can't offer a higher commission based on how high the offers go. Really? What commission are you talking about, CRMLS? You don't have a commission on the buy side on your platform. You have no right to even make this phone call. You hear what I'm saying? If you don't know what the 7% extreme, guys, it's right in your videos. C4, you can call us. We'll walk you through it. There's a 7% technique and there's a 7% extreme, where as the offers go up, the commission goes up. Remember that? Because that's based on Article 1 of the MLS, which you don't even care about anymore. Article 1 of the MLS isn't even relevant anymore. Because you want to know why? It makes no difference. There's no commission in the MLS, so they can't bitch about the commission that you're not putting in the MLS. There you go for that. Man, I'm tired of being so right. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So guess what? The 7% extreme technique just became the ultimate magic weapon in this market, and you know it. Okay, keep going. Now, don't worry, guys. We're going to get to the end here. The 7% technique in a buyer's market increases demand. That's the whole point of it. But in a seller's market like COVID, it created what? Feeding frenzy. Remember the Mike Drew in the La Jolla house where you got 1.6 on a 1.3 house? Creates a feeding frenzy. In the new world, in the post-DOJ, MLS, NAR settlement world, it creates something called offer mania on all your listings. This is going to be the most valuable thing you ever know in your life. If you are rusty on the 7% technique and you don't know the 7% extreme, get on the C4 website and watch those videos over and over and over again. It means millions of dollars to you. Millions. You're going to be a millionaire. Most valuable technique you'll ever learn. Ever. Okay? Now, question for you. You do the 7% technique because you know it. You do the 7% extreme technique. And the MLS can't bitch about it because, you can't change the commission based on the offers you get. What commission at CRMLS? What commission Sandicor? What commission Metro List? What commission are you talking about? There's no commission because of your stupid rule. Can't wait for that phone call. Oh, man. Ready? If you're a buyer's agent, what would you rather do? Here's your buyer. Would you rather try to convince her to sign an exclusive buyer agency with you contract? Or would you rather just go ahead and show that buyer a 4% buy side house? Which of those would you rather do? I'm kind of thinking you'd rather do this. That's the magic of the 7% technique. And that's why all of this stuff is so valuable. Now, that is the first one you need to brush up on. 7%, 7% extreme. Next, the lawyer letter. That's a listing technique. HOA technique. HOAs love you technique, part 1 and part 2. If you don't know these, guys, they're right in your C4, and they're also right in your greatest hits. Lawyer, okay, the senior market, the deal a week technique, okay, all of it, okay, the commission override clause, that's going to be gold, okay, the lunch bunch, the we all scream for ice cream, we all, okay, the Prop 13 technique, EAT and PAT, okay, FSBO's to listing conversion technique, the here in our midst, okay, the fortunate situation, the golf course view, and this is just 15 of them out of over 50 different techniques. Okay, these are now, okay, and this is the corporate edge technique. These are now the Bible of real estate success. In my opinion, every single realtor that wants to stay in this business should know every one of these techniques, and you already know them. They're right in your C4 and they're right in your greatest hits. All right, that is the way to beat this with these techniques, the 7% technique, and the fact that now you know buyer's agency isn't going away. You are now armed to kill it out there in a way you've never killed it before. And who's going to be right there with you? Career Compass and C4. All right, let's go ahead and open this up to some questions here. Okay, because I know that we're gone a little bit long here. Oh, look at that, 4:59. Man, I'm sorry. I am tired of being so good.
All right, let's keep you focused and let's keep you on these questions.
All right,
a big one that you need to address right now, because people are really they're talking about that the buyer agency requirement that they're going to have to sign that contract, and that they heard that it's going to, with a minimum percentage and all that kind of stuff. Touch base on that buyer agreement contract.
All right. First off, the National Association of Realtors cannot wave its magic wand and make every buyer, not buyer's agent, but buyer who wants to buy a home in the United States sign some contract. They do not have that power. The Department of Justice doesn't have that power. Now, I've spoken to one of my good friends, Mike Kokos, this morning, and he said the California legislature is going to pass a law that says that if you want to buy a house, you have to sign a contract with your buyer's agent. I predict that will never pass, ever, because it is not constitutional to force somebody to go into a contract. That is like going to the grocery store and the grocer going, okay, no problem, you can shop here, but you have to sign a contract that says you won't go to any other grocery store ever. It'll never pass. It's never going to happen. And brokerages cannot force you to have your buyers sign some silly exclusive. It's not going to happen. It's not constitutional.
Let's see. All right. So what other questions do we got, guys? Oh, how do you suggest getting the 4% commission out there? I think we went over that, but go over that again. How do you get the news out when you got a commission?
Guys, text it. Hey, you already do this. Guys, in the 7% technique, you already blast it out. You already blasted out via email. You already blasted out via text. You already blasted out with Zip My Flyer. You already go to your caravan. You already go to your office meeting. Okay, you already do this. You already do this. Okay, you simply don't have the MLS anymore. Get it out everywhere. And I got news for you. People are going to clamor to you. Buyers agents are going to walk over fire to get to you when they hear that you've got a 4% buy side. They're going to love you. You're going to control the market. You get it out there. You now have to market the house the same way that you promised that you would market the house when you got your license with your fiduciary responsibility. Guys, it's going to take a little bit more work, but is being a millionaire and exploding your business worth it? Yes, it is.
Yeah, guys, everybody's putting in different things that you can do it on. You can post your listing anywhere you want. You just can't put the commission in the MLS. If you want to put it on your Facebook page, there's no agreement against that. If you want to put out a public paid ad for it, you can do that. If you want to, like Beef said, if you want to zip your flyer, you can do that. It's just the MLS. You can express anywhere you want other than the MLS what the commission is on that side. Don't get muddled in the waters, guys. You have to be able to, and you can put it on there. All right, I'm going to put, so not putting a listing on the MLS. No, see, that's the thing. Beef, do you think the MLS, what do you think is going to happen to the MLS? Because you were required to put, well, Tony and Tasha proved that you're not required to put everything in the MLS because they do 60% of theirs outside of it. So where do you think is going to happen in the MLS?
Okay. As of Friday, the MLS just became less relevant, became less important, because now you're going to have to advertise your properties outside the MLS. You're still going to put it on the MLS, but now they're nothing more than an aggregator. Watch this. I bet you the MLSs start selling leads just like Zillow does. We'll see. We'll see. But it's nothing more than an aggregator now. Now, the MLS is nothing more than a listing of houses that are for sale. The commission is the reason that agents would go to the MLS. So the MLS just got less relevant and less important as of Friday.
Okay. I've seen this question popped up twice. What do you think builders are going to do?
Well, hold on a second. Builders that have listings in the MLS?
It just says, what do you think builders will do? With builder
Builders will have a
commissions,
big sign when you walk your buyer into their new housing complex, a big sign that says, we have a 3% co-op. Why would they do anything different?
Yeah, they're gonna remain the same. Like Lynn just said, new construction can't go in the MLS.
Right. So hold on. I want to ask that question, guys. This doesn't change home buyers one bit. Home builders, excuse me. This doesn't change home builders one bit. Home builders have a standard co-op of 3%. They're going to continue with a standard co-op of 3%. They don't give a crap about the MLS. Go sell new houses. They all have a commission of 3% on the buy side. Grab your buyers, go buy a new house. There you go.
All right. So I'm sure this is a big question. We saw it pop up. Can you practice without paying MLS and NAR and car dues? So cover that one for everybody.
Yes, you can. Okay. You do not have to have a subscription on the MLS. You do not have to be part of CAR. That is a conversation between you and your broker. That's it. Okay. You can be a real estate agent and not be a member of CAR, not be a member of NAR, and not have a subscription on the MLS. You can take a listing, which means a contract. It's not a listing because that means the MLS. You can take a contract on a house to sell the house and go advertise the house through every venue you can think of other than the MLS, sell the house, represent the seller, bring a buyer agent in, okay, who has a buyer, sell the house completely off MLS, completely off NAR and CAR. Tony and Tasha do it all the time.
All right, guys. Yeah. And the other thing is a lot of people are asking us, where can you put this? Can you put it in the remarks? Can you put it here? Can you put it there? That's still kind of going to be fleshed out. Like we said earlier. We will see.
I want to answer that question. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But boy, NAR's reaction and the MLS's reaction to what you put in the description and what you put on the MLS is going to be so unbelievably telling about their true motivation of why they did this.
Yeah, because and again, like Beef said too, this agreement, this settlement agreement has not been accepted by the court yet. It is it's just pending yet. So the court does have the option to come back and strike things and change things. So don't get muddled in this. This is information where it's still going to be changing. It's still going to be moving. And we will obviously, especially for our C4, we'll be the first ones out here telling you exactly what's going on. We spent all weekend calling and researching and reading, and we were on so many calls and stuff like that because we knew we wanted to decipher it and get it out to you guys as soon as possible. So as things change, we will definitely let you know. It has until middle of July, even if they accept NAR's agreement as is, it will have until the middle of July. I'm sorry, say that? July 1?
July 1.
Okay. But we still have that a couple months to everybody to answer those questions. And NAR is obviously going to have to clarify what they've put in this agreement. And again, we have to see whether the court approves it.
Okay. Let me go ahead and address that since this is kind of the last questions. Okay, one, the court has not approved it yet. I'm hoping and I'm thinking it might happen. The court's going to come to their senses. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Okay. Number two, does this hold harmless every single brokerage in the world for every single future lawsuit? It doesn't. Even in the offer, it says that this only protects brokerages that have less than $2 billion in total volume in 2022, which means there's about 50 to 80 other brokerages in the entire country that this agreement doesn't even protect. Most of you guys don't know that. I want to say that again. The 50 to 80 largest brokerages is in terms of volume in the United States, this agreement would not protect, and they could still get sued. So can NAR, so can the MLSs. This is not a blanket fix in any way, shape, or form. There you go.
C4 contracts. We are working on them. It's because things are changing. We have to change with them. C4
forms, they're coming. And I know that I keep saying that. That's a mountain that we have to climb, guys, and we're climbing it. But it's a mountain we're going to have to climb, but we will have those. Again, this is going to be a conversation that you have to have with your broker. Because if they don't allow you to leave CAR, NAR, and the MLS, or just CAR and NAR, you're still going to have the forms anyway. So you're still going to have CAR forms, so you can still use those. But yes, C4 will have a backup set of forms that if you want to use exclusively, you can. It's a mountain that we're climbing. We're getting there. Again, guys, we're a small company. We're big, but we're small. So that's a mountain we have to climb. All right, and we're getting there. I'm hoping we'll have forms by the end of the summer, if not by the end of the summer, by the end of the year. Okay, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Somebody brought up a good question that I know your favorite subject being the DRE. Since the majority of funding and income that keeps the DRE open for business comes from our license renewals and initial licensing fee, if many of our California agents decide to leave the profession, is the DRE in trouble?
Yes. Okay, I've already heard rumors that the DRE is going to go insolvent within the next 2 years. Now, that's just my opinion, and that's just my prediction. Okay. I am not a politician. I am not in Sacramento. But yes, if they lose 30 to 40% of their revenue, yeah, they're going to be in big trouble. The DRE is going to be in big trouble, but it's the government, taxes. Who knows? We'll see.
What do you think? How long is NAR going to last?
10 minutes. I don't know. You tell me.
Do you think they're actually, here's my question for you. I threw this out there at another meeting. Do you think NAR is actually going to be able to pay off this $418 million? Because it's to be paid over 4 years, which means they're betting on having dues in the next 4 years to cover this. Are they going to have those dues?
Let's say that your NAR dues are $400. Okay. It's about 1,000 total. Okay. Roughly. I'd have to ask John Butler or Marguerite or somebody like that. Anyway, let's just say that there's $400 in NAR dues. Okay. And there's 1 million realtors that are going to be paying it. So that's $400 million that comes in to NAR every single year. They have to pay 100 of it every year for the next 4 years to this. So that's 25% of their gross revenue, not net revenue. 25% of their gross revenue is already spent. That's a tough business model. That really is. That's a tough business model. I would not be surprised if NAR applied for bankruptcy protection through the U.S. federal courts.
All right. So we'll see, and where NAR goes, I think the state agencies are probably going to follow.
Yeah, if NAR goes, I mean, guys, you got NAR, and then you got the state locals, the CARs and the WARs and the GARs and those are just extensions of NAR, and then the local boards are just extensions of the state board. So if NAR bankrupts, the state boards and the local boards are probably going to go as well, because here's why. Let's say we lose 1/3 of the realtors. Okay, let's say 1/3 of the realtors get out of the business, which is reasonable. And let's say there was 1.2 million actual dues paying realtors at any given point. 1/3 of that is 400,000. So now there's going to be 800,000. So that's 1/3 of all the operating revenue of all the boards, whether it be local, state, or national, gone. 1/3 of the revenue is gone. Very few businesses can run if they lose a third of their gross revenue. It's just very, very difficult to do. So yeah, I think a lot of people think that the boards are in trouble, and I think they are in trouble. And I think they, in my opinion, and I hope this reaches Chicago. Ready, Chicago? Here's what I think you should do. Okay, you should go back to the courts on behalf of all the realtors that you say you represent, and tell the courts, okay, that this rule that you can't display commissions in the MLS is unconstitutional, and you want it back. The agreement you will make is the Ryan Gorman suggestion. Brilliant man. The Ryan Gorman said, we'll get rid of the rule that you have to put a commission in the buy side, but you still can put a commission and it can still be shown in the MLS. Please go back to the courts and do that. That will solve all of your problems, including your financial problems. Just my opinion. There's my advice to you.
Okay. Beef, somebody questioned, does NAR do a lot of lobbying? Have you seen any lobbying pro realtor in the last couple of years on behalf of NAR, or what are they doing?
How much lobbying have I seen on behalf of realtors? None. That's what I've seen. I've seen none. I've seen them lobby on behalf of Zillow. I've seen them lobby on behalf of the fintech corporations, Open Door, OfferPad, and all of your competition. I've seen them lobby on behalf of them, but I haven't seen them lobby on behalf of us at all.
Yeah,
what? I guess I'll have to have the Steve Keefes of the world educate me, because I'm just too dumb to get it. I'm just too stupid to get it. And I was hoping that Steve would be on this call today, but I guess he's got something more important to do. I don't know what it is. Steve, if you're on this call, can you please unmute yourself? Because I would love to hear your point of view. I really would. But he's not here. Okay.
General Wellington. This is General Napoleon. I'd like to say that if you drive the prices down on properties already in low-income areas, that will reduce the value of the property and the amount of money that one could borrow against his house or whatever, and it would create a type of redlining.
Did everybody hear that? That's a great point, isn't it? I hope everybody hear that. It could create a type of redlining. So thank you for that comment. That was brilliant. Thank you very much. So in other words, if the government is really, really interested in consumer protection, and this is all about protecting the consumer and not a big money grab, then this is the last thing they should do, because this could create a type of redlining. Now there's an interesting point I didn't think about. That's why C4 agents are the best.
Well,
any other questions?
You know, you say it's always about protection for the clients or the public. In this instance, what we're doing is we're making it harder, you know, with the way that perception is, that the borrower now, or the buyer's agent or the buyer has to come up with more money. So now they're going to be out of the market longer, thinking they have to create more income or have more cash to do that. So who is it really hurting? It's hurting the buyer. So
exactly.
Therefore, it's like, yeah, and this is kind of the same thing what he just said. So, and then the other thing is like, well, I can't finance that. Now I got to make all this money. So that perception is dispelled from what you guys, and I don't know if you noticed the comment. I was like, C4 is worth every freaking penny, baby. I'm just saying. And then the other thing, I was looking at this as a mortgage person. Now I can actually educate my buyer's agents and my listing agents. Don't be an idiot. Put it in the contract, and I can tell the buyers at the same time. The buyer's agent, don't force them to do that. Basically, only deal with the people who are going to get you paid. So, you're only stupid and you're hurting yourself if you try not to put that in the contract. So, very, very good information, sir. Worth every freaking penny.
Thank you. Thank you very much. 100% correct on that comment right there. Here's one thing I will agree with, that a lot of the YouTube pundits are saying, this hurts the buyer. Okay. It hurts everybody, but it hurts the buyer too. So if this was about protecting the buyer, they didn't do it. Thank you very much for that comment. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay. Donna, is there anything else?
Hold on. We have Sam. Wait. Okay. Sam, go ahead.
Go, Sam.
Hey, I'm doing a podcast tomorrow morning. I need to connect with you and get some documents on this so I can talk about this along with some other issues on my podcast. So anything you got, let me know. Oh, sorry. Anything you have, let me know.
Sam, just call me.
Call the office.
Yeah, I'll call you.
Okay,
Sam,
perfect.
text me, call me, whatever you want to do. I'll get you anything you need.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing for the slide deck, or a recording or something, that'd be great. Thank you, sir.
Okay. This recording is going to be on C4 as of tomorrow morning. This entire presentation is available to any C4 member that needs to go and show it to your office, show it to you. Okay. And if you're in C4, encourage every single agent in your office to also get to C4, guys. This is going to save real estate right here. You're going to save real estate. Get them all in there. This presentation, all the information, this video, everything you need is available to any C4 member anytime. Call the office. We'll get it to you.
Is the
All
slide
right.
available like in a slide form or a presentation?
It is available in PDF format, Keynote format, which is the Mac, and we can also convert it to PowerPoint as well. So it's available. I'll be happy to have any C4 member who needs this for any meeting you're going to have. Okay, normally we don't give this stuff away because it's all proprietary. In this case, we're doing it. Anything that I just went over, the video, the PowerPoint, the Keynote, the PDF, and everything is available to any realtor that is in C4.
Yeah, we'll have it on the C4 website, just like we always do under previous. I'll have the PDF and everything of the presentation there. Once we process this video, we'll get it all up there so that you guys can get that.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Irma, we would appreciate if you don't post the whole thing on social media, because this is C4 and you guys do pay for this. So if we don't mind you sharing it with other agents and stuff like that, but let's not put it all over God's creation and back.
And by the way, we are going to have a general one, not one as thorough as this, tomorrow for any agents. Okay, if you have agents that want to know some of this stuff and should be in C4, get them the link. Hey, Donna, can you put the link up in the thing so they can copy and paste it? Get all of your non-C4 agents on tomorrow's talk. Encourage them to join C4. This is the solution. This is the savior. This is the way we succeed together in C4. And by the way, here's another thing Donna's working on, okay? This is just a little bit of an icing on the cake here. On the C4 website, c4connection.com. On that website, there's a new little spot that you can put the address of your house that you're listing and the commission right there. Donna, do you want to tell them about that?
Oh, yeah. So in response to all this, guys, we just wanted to give you one other outlet to post your listings. And so on the C4 website under the forum, we created a category saying listings, and we've already got a 7% listing up in Lodi. So if you are an agent in Lodi, please go on up there, take a look. There's a 7% commission there, so you know exactly what you're getting on the buy side. If you want to put any other listings up there, please feel free. When the house sells, please take it down. But we just wanted to give you guys another option of where to put that stuff so you could articulate and talk and scream from the mountains what the buy side commission is on anything you have.
Just another tool for you guys. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Call our office, call me, text me. Again, you guys all have my cell phone number. Any C4 member can call or text me personally anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 619, again, 619-840-WELL, WELL. 9355 is the last four numbers, and it spells well, as in Wellington. 619-840-WELL 9355. That's my cell phone. If you're in C4, call me, text me anytime you want. I'll answer all your questions. All right, guys, I've got to go. Thank you for being on. We have a fantastic, huge group today. See you tomorrow. For those of you who are going to be on the talk tomorrow, we'll be back with Matt mentoring with masters here next week and learning with legends again next week. And Pechanga Resort and Casino. Pechanga Resort and Casino, April 23rd and 24th. Be there, okay? Sign up, get there. It's free to view, of course. I'll see you at the seminar. I'll see you at C4, and I'll see you in success. Good luck and good selling. Thanks, folks. See you later.
Thank you, Beef. Thank you, Donna.
A lot. Email. Thanks, Donna. See you guys.